Hi, Orange Girl here with another scrapbooking process video for you. I am super excited to help Erica Thompson, aka Erica Rose Creates, celebrate her 1,000 YouTube subscribers participating in this great video hop. So check out all the details in the comments below. Today I'm using a Freebie Friday cut file from the cut shop, and I'm using these two pictures of my daughter that were taken on her birthday at the end of August. This cut file is a great cut file. When I set it up to make it cut, I messed it up. You can see here I cut the edge off. Rather than recut it and waste a piece of cardstock, because the rest of it is perfect, I decided I would just use those two pictures to cover it up. So let's get to it. Today, I am using the September Click Kits main kit, and I decided I was going to try to back this cut file. It was a bit tedious because there are a lot of different flowers, but I just decided that I really wanted to do it. And I'm working with a color palette that's a little bit different than what I normally use, but the kits are just beautiful and I really enjoyed using them. It's kind of a pink and a mustard yellow and a great green color that you'll see coming up, and then some black and white. So all I do when I back these files, typically this is the way I do it. I go ahead and I put some glue on the actual cut file or the actual cut, the cardstock. Good grief. I can't talk. Sorry, I apologize. And then I lay it down on whatever pattern paper I want to use. And right here, I'm just cutting around the outsides. And this part does take a little bit of time. Here I made a mistake and I cut off part of it, and so it would have a little hole there where you could see behind it. So I just decided, and I've done this before, is you can just hide that by applying a little bit more glue again, which I do here, and then I just put that same paper kind of behind it and then cut it off again. And you really can't, it's such a small amount, you really can't tell. You would have to really be combing the whole thing looking for mistakes for that to stand out. So I'm not going to make you watch me. This took quite a while. That was me getting frustrated. I was like, finally, I got one of those done. It didn't take me as long as that first one, but it did take me a little bit of time to do this. But all the time when I do this, almost all the time anyway, I just sit in front of the TV or I sit with my family in the same room and we have conversation. It really doesn't take a lot of thought other than, you might want to think about how you're placing the color across the cut file so that it looks, I don't know, I don't like it to look symmetrical, but I like it to look kind of, I don't know, a good design. So I want it to not have all the yellows in one area, but I don't make a pattern usually either, if that makes sense. So in a second here, you're going to see a finished backed cut file. So let's see. Let me tell you what's been going on. We had my daughter's birthday. School has started. We've had officially tomorrow will be the 10th day. When this airs, it will be the 10th day of school. I'm on the evaluation cycle this year, so that means I have a lot of extra. There it is, right there, the finished cut file. So I have a lot of just extra things that I have to do. I have a tremendous class, but also challenging. Every class is really challenging in its own way, and so it's kept me pretty busy. So I haven't had a lot of crafty time, but I do feel like I'm starting to get back into the swing of things where I can not have to spend every waking hour working, and I can start to do some actual me time and crafty time. So I hope to get a couple that's actually created this weekend. So hopefully you'll see a few more YouTube videos coming up. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the ephemera that came with the kit and I'm just sorting out kind of by color, but also by design. So I have some of the phrases there at the top, and then I have some of the flowers, which is what I'm messing with now. And then I put all the hearts over on the left. I didn't know if I wanted hearts on this or if I wanted to just stick with flowers, which is what I end up doing. So I start kind of with the flower clusters, and then I end up deciding that I really like the little leaves that are, they're like little buds, and they're pink, and then they have little ones that are green, and I really like those a lot, and I wanted to use those, and it was just a little too much with the huge cluster, so I decided to go ahead and not use the clusters, but I do end up incorporating them later, and I might as well have used them to begin with, except I like how it turns out better. The other thing that I grabbed here is a cut a die cut. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? From the ephemera pack that says "You have my heart," and it's like a little speech bubble, and I plan to use that as well. That was one of the things that I pulled out. And then I was gonna have my title be Celebrate 9 because she turned 9, but I end up going with just Celebrate as my title. And actually, the only thing that Erica suggested to us on the blog hop was to maybe have something about celebrating. And so I thought, having her birthday just been in August, that this would be the perfect photos to scrap. So I kind of have the basic idea here. I'm going to do some layering behind the photos and then do a little something over in the bottom left corner. So I decided I better start gluing things down. So I did, I think off camera, I cut my white cardstock a little bit off each edge, and then I added a little border around the outside, a black and white border. I'm not sure I've glued it down, but I think I have. And then right now I'm just trying to make sure that my photos are pretty straight, and I popped up the one photo, and that's the one of her looking straight on, smiling. We went out to our favorite Mexican restaurant for her birthday, and we celebrated with so many people this year. It was so nice. My older daughter came with her two sons, my grandsons, and then grandma and grandpa from her dad's side came, and then of course her dad and I were there, and we got to spend the night there, and we sang. This was right after we sang happy birthday to her. They come out and they clap and they sing happy birthday, and they make her wear a sombrero, and they give her free ice cream and that kind of thing. And so she really likes the restaurant. That we go there quite often, like probably once a week, which is far too much, but um, it's not twice a week, right? So that's better. And so when we go there, they know us. I mean, they know pretty much what we're going to order most of the time. They're not that far from us, so we do hit that restaurant pretty often. So she was really excited to go there and celebrate with family. Her birthday happened to fall on a Monday, and it's right at the back to school time, and so her dad and I both had to work. So she spent the day with my mom, and then the evening with the other grandma and grandpa and us. So I think she had a good time, and she got some great presents, and we got to spend some quality time together. So to add some more pops of black, well, I'll get back to that in a second. So to add some pops of pink, I am adding some tangled thread in like 3 places. I think I end up adding it. So I added it already kind of underneath the arrow that's underneath that photo in the middle. It says "So Happy." And I popped that arrow up, and then I added some tangled thread underneath that. Then I also added tangled thread underneath the "You Have My Heart" speech bubble. And then I'm going to add some, I think I add some down to the flower in the bottom. Okay, so here's where I modify a little bit. I went ahead and I cut 2 of the bigger clusters of flowers in so that it wasn't so big. And I cut out the parts that I wanted, and I think I actually end up adding all of them in, or most of it in. But because I was able to cut them apart and add them the way that I wanted to. They were a little longer and they went along the side instead of just kind of in a corner, if that makes sense. They were perfect corner clusters, but I wanted it to go more be longer, have a longer length. And so I went ahead and cut those up and spread them out, and I like the way that turned out. It looks really nice. And then to add a few more pops of color, also included in the kit were these black, well, there's several different kinds, several different colors, but mostly black sequins, and then some, it really is a pink, but it is translucent, so, and iridescent a bit, I would say, and so they're really, really pretty pieces of sequin. So I add a few of those in with my clusters. And then I am almost finished. I was going to write Celebrate 9, and I couldn't find the right letters. The letters that came in the kit would have been great, but they didn't really go with the celebrate, and I really wanted to use that word. So I decided to against that and just kept it at celebrate. And then I'm going to add the date stamp here. But then I remember that also included in the kit were these phrase stickers. I think those are from Pretty Little Studio. And there was one that said, today was ridiculously fabulous. And so I added that underneath celebrate. So it almost kind of says, celebrate, today was ridiculously fabulous. But however you want to look at it. Then I almost added a couple other little phrases, but I decided at this point, I was like, you know what? This is done. I'm done. Over. And I didn't want to add anything else because I thought it would make it too busy. So here are the close-ups. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out all the other videos linked below. Thanks a lot. Bye.